Hari Om. Good evening. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Please come. Let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, Ishanaha, Pranadaha, Prano, we seek your grace, your mercy, your blessings, your love, your compassion, your forgiveness, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. O Lord, please bless us with all these qualities and make our life a journey filled with spirituality. And at the end of our journey, we reach your divine abode. Our Sastanga pranams to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. A very warm welcome to all who have just now joined. Today we are on our Divine Discourse number 176, the 12th of January 2021, Sharvarinama Samvatsara, Dakshinayana, Hemanta Rutu, Margashira Masa, Krishna Paksha, Chaturtasi, Purvashada Nakshatra, Vyagata Yoga Chatushpada Karane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the time of the evening, we deeply understand that everything we experience in this world, we get in this life, is nothing but due to the pure grace of the Lord and His mercy. Na ham karta, Hari karta, Hari preranaya, Hari prityartam. Seeking His grace and blessings once again. Hari Om. So during our last class, we studied of this verse where Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya is trying to tell us, my dear brother, Bhrata, you need to sit down and you need to understand what this whole life is about. You have been just running after instincts which are happening within you and without your awareness. The power of Maya has engulfed you. Not only you, it has engulfed the entire creation. But you are a very special person. Now you have got the grace of the Lord and you are listening to the scriptures. You sit down and ask yourself these deep questions. And then you will realize what is the essence of this entire creation. What you have thought it to be and what it is, they are just like two different banks of the river. Kaathe, kaanta, kasthe, putra. Samsaro yamativa vivichitraha. Kasya tvam kaha kuta ayataha tattvam chintaha tadiha prataha. Now, in the previous class, we did understand. I gave a metaphor where consider this planet is like a train. Continuously it is moving. It is not only moving on its axis, but it's also rotating around the sun. In the same way, now this particular train in which we as jivas, we board and we alight. We don't tell anybody when we are coming, when we are going. Somebody born somewhere suddenly becomes your spouse and gains the maximum importance in that person's life, at least for initial few years. And then when the children come in, the importance dilutes. And then when grandchildren come in, the importance further dilutes. How is all this happening? And what does he say eventually? He not only says about your wife, your children, he says about who are you? You ask that question. And from where did you come? Are these questions generally asked by any human being, a commoner? A normal human being, does he go into these depth of questions? Nobody does that. Only a person who is inclined to spirituality, who wants to know what is the higher self, who has been blessed, only such souls and such minds will start thinking. And that is the sign of God's grace purely. That's all. If you want to know God's grace, as far as you're being drawn towards Him, imagine that you are under His grace. The moment you get back to the world, understand you have lost His grace. So when one person asks such deep questions, then what happens is, he also tells us, try to understand. Tattvam chintaya tadiha brata. He says, deeply understand this. When you get into this kind of a mode of thinking, then the divine knowledge will dawn within yourself. It will erupt in your heart and mind like a volcano, and it will dispel all the darkness, all the sorrow, and all the miseries one has experienced in life. So now we'll go into details of this. Let me tell you some basic facts about the creation. Out of the 84 lakh species which are created on this planet Earth, excepting human beings, all animals, reptiles, insects, aquamarine life, birds, they all are on autopilot mode. Autopilot mode in the sense, like you have a toy and you switch it on. Based on the mechanism which is built within that toy, it plays accordingly. If it has to move its hands, it will move its hands. If it has to also move its legs, it will move its legs. If it has got forward and backward movement, it will do that movement. And when you switch it off, it's off. It does nothing else than what it is made to do. This is autopilot mode. Now, excepting a human being, every other creature in this world is designed that way. They get hungry from time to time, then they get sleepy from time to time. They procreate from time to time. They are born and they die from time to time. Now, in humans, there is no big difference. But here, the Lord has given one window of opening for us to cross over this samsara. And what is that opening? He has given us an intellect, a mind to think and do your purushartha, meaning where you can exercise your choice and do what you want to, which no animal or any other creature other than a human has. Now, here what has happened is, as He has given us this rare phenomena of Buddhi Shakti, He has also given a counter, which is Aham Bhava, that feeling of I, me, mine, Aham Bhava. So Aham Bhava is regulated by Maya. So now here what happens? See, what we think that we are doing everything. Right from the time you have got up in the morning, you think, I am eating, I am bathing, I am going, I am giving, I am receiving. Everywhere that I is prominent. So what is the problem if this I is there? If this I is there, every action you do with this I feeling, that aham feeling, aham means I and me, that's all. If any action done with this feeling, it results into punya or papa. Now you need to understand this very carefully. Action done with this aham bhava, that I feeling, will result into punya or papa dependent on it being a good action or a bad action. Okay, stage 1. Stage 2. Now this punya and papa will eventually result into sukha and dukkha. Punya, good deed, will give you sukha, pleasant moments in life, and papa will give you not so good moments, sorrowful moments in life. Now this effect of these deeds can either happen in this life, or it can happen in the next life, or maybe after even several hundreds of lives also. That is purely decided by the law of karma. Now what happened? When you did everything with this I factor, me factor, you are binding yourself again and again with this law of karma. Then if you have been binding yourself with your own self, then how can you be untied? Now our interest and sole motto of this whole exercise is we want to get out of this samsara. We don't want to get back into this ocean of births and deaths. So if that is the case, you have to do the untying part. And for doing the untying part, you have to give up that me, I, mine factor. Now to give up that me, my and I factor, you need to understand in reality what is the truth behind you. See, it is so systematically designed. So far good? Understood so far? So when this is the case, now let's understand how we are constructed as a human. Excepting for that little purushartha and buddhi shakti what you have, you are no different than an autopilot mode. How? Do we have a choice about sleep? Do we have a choice about hunger? I don't want to be hungry for the next 3 days. Do you have a choice? I don't want to sleep for the next 1 week. Will it be possible? If you say, I don't want to get up for another 3 days, will it be possible? I want to stop my respiration for the next 3 hours. Why 3 hours? Another 3 minutes. You don't have a choice. I want to stop my digestion. I want to stop my heartbeat. See, if you carefully examine, there are so many operations in our body which are all autopilot again. And an important part is when you go to deep sleep, you have completely lost identity of your own self. And what happens in a dream? You are created a mind and world of your own, and you are dreaming so many things. Relevant, irrelevant. Now where is that I factor in these two situations which you daily cross over in your life? So the I factor is there only in your waking state. It is nowhere else. And when this I factor is in the waking state, for you as a jiva to evolve, the possibility is only in a waking state. You can't get enlightened in a dream, or you can't get enlightened in a deep sleep state. When it comes to a waking state, that is the time where when you get this knowledge, which comes in as light into your life, it dispels the darkness, the ignorance which is there for millions and millions of years. Now look at your own body. It's made up of about 40 trillion cells. Now these cells, they are born and they die, and they say, as we had discussed in numbers, every minute roughly about 40 lakh cells, they get converted. They die and new cells are born. In 7 years time, all the 40 trillion cells of your body, they completely change. Now, what did you do for this? Have you got any idea of what is happening within yourself? Then why is this I factor and my factor so strong in us? This is when we need to ask a question to ourselves. Do we have even that 0.000001 capacity to question, I am doing this? No. 90% of your cell is covered with bacteria. This is shocking. Only 10% is your cell, and 90% there is a colony of bacteria around each and every cell. And furthermore, striking is the genes which are carried forward from a parent to the offspring. 99% of that gene is enveloped with bacteria. See the creation. Now let's go to a point and understand, where did this jiva come from? We have discussed about this in the past, but it is relevant here again. Now let's take this up. As per the Chandogya Upanishad, this is known as a Panchagni Vidya. Pancha Agni means Pancha is 5, Agni is fire. Now this jiva is offered as an oblation. As you give ahuti to the fire, it is offered as an oblation at 5 different levels. And now those levels are, first and foremost, all the jivas which are scheduled to come to planet Earth, they come to the solar system, which is the sun. And the first offering, the first Agni, is made to the moon. And from the moon, the second offering is made to the rains. So now the jiva, it first comes to the moon, and then it gets into the clouds, and in the form of rain. The third offering is, it falls onto the planet Earth. So much of precision is happening here. And now this jiva is protected. When it falls on planet Earth, it enters into some kind of form of food. It could be grains, it could be pulses, it could be a fruit, it could be a vegetable. It enters into that food. This is the third offering. And then now nature and destiny has to ensure that that particular food is eaten by the person who has to be the father of this particular jiva. It is not the mother. Mother comes next. Now the father eats this particular food. Now this food, this is the fourth offering which goes into the father. Now this food, it becomes the seventh dhatu. First out of this food is manufactured is chyle, and from chyle comes blood, and from blood comes flesh, and from flesh comes fat, and from fat comes the bone, and out of the bone comes the bone marrow, and from that marrow this jiva is travelled into the semen of a male. Now from this fourth stage, now till now the stages have been absolutely right. The jiva is going perfectly where it has to reach. And at the right time, this jiva enters as the 5th ahuti into the garbha of a woman. And there the woman, this is the garbha of a woman is known as the Homa Kunda. And this Pratyaksha Devi, Pratyaksha means whom you can see with your eyes, who is next to Lord Brahma the Creator. Brahma the Creator is invisible, but the Pratyaksha Devi is that woman who has that carried the jiva in the womb. She is the visible God. And she carries this womb, which is the 5th Agni. And there, month on month, rather day by day, this particular jiva takes into a beautiful form. It's so interesting to even understand what happens in the womb at every week on week, what happens. It's something really interesting. Now, like this, the jiva came into being. And one fine day, after the appropriate time, now this jiva comes into the world. Now see, till then, you as a jiva are there. Do you ever remember all these 5 ahutis which were given? How did you come? No. Do you ever remember how you were born? No. Somewhere at the age of 4 or 5 or 6, you get to understand, yes, I was a boy or a girl at that particular time. And then the aham bhava comes into your mind, along with your buddhi shakti. Till then, as far as there is no aham bhava, everybody calls you, like the child is no different from God, because it is absence of aham bhava. The sooner aham bhava comes in, a sense of individuality develops around the child, and then the child slowly starts making its own life, which is filled with emotions, memories, experiences, thoughts, ideas. Now, this jiva. Now we know how this jiva has come. Let's quickly understand, where does this jiva go after death? Then we have completed the whole circuit and we'll dive deep into the subject. Now, the Garuda Puran tells us emphatically about what happens after death. As we all know, God has given us enough notices that in the normal course, death is coming nearer to you. Like slowly your eyes start getting weak, you start getting gray hair, you start getting a hearing loss, then you have problems in all your joints. Each and every joint of your body, especially your knees, your wrist, your fingers. And these are signs that death is coming. He's trying to say, death is coming, come towards me. You're losing the opportunity. Like when you have a flight and people who have not boarded the flight, as announcement comes, this is the last warning, the gates are going to close, please report immediately. So like these are those kind of signals which we get. And if we don't reach there on time, then the gates are closed. So you lose the opportunity. In the same way, your Lord has been giving us. And then one fine day, death strikes the jiva. Now, when death strikes, it has got a chance, the jiva, to escape from 9 gates which are there within the body. 7 gates are in the face and 2 are below the waist. The anal and your sexual organ. Now, the jiva exits from these gates, and then as the jiva, which is the sukshma sharira and the karana sharira, which we have understood. Now here the sukshma sharira and the karana sharira, they leave the sthula sharira, which is the body. Only the body is here. Now these two, they wait for a body to travel to the next abode. Now they are in a subtle form. Like as you see air, it's in a subtle form. Now if it has to go to another area, it needs a solid form. So that is known as a yatana sharir. So for 10 days a yatana sharir is further made up after the death of the body. The first day the head is made, second day the neck is made, the third day the heart is made, fourth day the back, fifth day the waist and shoulders, sixth day the pelvic region, seventh day the thighs, eighth day the knees, ninth day the complete legs, and 10th day is the purification of the entire body. This is the yatana sharir. And then it is ready now to depart. Where it has to go? To the Yamlok, which in distance they talk about 86,000 yojan, and 1 yojan is 7.5 miles, which comes to about 10.32 lakh kilometers. So daily one has to travel about 247 yojans, which is about 3,000 kilometers daily. So this jiva, for a non-stop period of 348 days, it is continuously traveling. Now it has to cross about 16 stations. Yamyapur, Gandharvapur, Belgrampur, Krurpur, Vichitrapur, Drukpur, Rudrapur, Bahubitipur. Likewise, it continuously keeps traveling for 348 days, and then finally it reaches Yamalok, which is also known as Sayamani. Now this office of Yamalok they describe, it is 330 square miles office. For the male, there is one person known as Shravan, and for the female, there is a person known as Shravani. They now, with the blue chip which is already in you, they do all the entire assessment, whatever you have done, because eventually law of karma is playing, isn't it? So as per your blue chip, now they take all the data and they download it in the Yama's office. Now this blue chip is put in the processor. Eventually, after it is processed, if there is a red color, that particular jiva goes to Narak, and if there is a green color, it goes to heaven. And for some, it so happens that no decision is given. It is still under process, awaiting some more information. So they go to Pitrulok. They are on hold. Now, all this happens for people who are non-devotees or who are not spiritual. All this process, what I told you, will happen only for such people. And people who have already surrendered to the Lord and who have been on the path of spirituality, the Garud Puran says, a special plane comes to where you are and it takes you into that plane, and there is no further assessment for you. This Yamlok is just like that immigration office. You have to report over there. Royally you are taken inside. The process, everything is done. While you're seated and relaxing over a refreshing drink, you sign the papers and you straight go to Vaikuntha, or the desired higher loka, which is designated for you. Now this is the entire cycle from where you came and where you go. Now then, what have we to understand from this? Understand that everybody who has come, be it your spouse, your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister, whoever has come with their own account, which is very close to your particular account, where they have a lot to give and take in your life. So where there is so much to share between each other, they come as very close associates, as a husband and wife, father and son, father and daughter, mother and son, daughter, brothers. This is how they come, very closely associated. Which means eventually this cycle will continue. What have we lost in between? If you get attached to the person, engrossed in the worldly Maya, where you have got 5 powerful senses and organs of action and a beautiful world around you, if you get engrossed in this, you are again back into the karma theory and you have to repeat this whole process. That's all. So here Jagat Guru tells us, "Ye Brata, understand man, where you are, what you are, and wake up. Otherwise, you will again come back into the same grit and grill." So now how to escape out of this and what more needs to be understood, I think we'll take in the next class. See, this is a very deep subject and we need to get these things clear. Now I used the word attachment over here. Attachment is something which clings you to a particular object, person, or a situation. You mean to say that we should not be attached to our parents, or parents should not be attached to their children? No, that's not what I'm trying to tell over here. You should give utmost love, respect, affinity, affection, compassion, whatever is required. Give all that. But don't be attached. Attached meaning don't constantly keep thinking of that person. Don't keep constantly nagging that person. That is attachment. Up to love and care, it is fine. But when you again and again think of that person, what happens is, now as per the law of karma, you will be again bound into that. So in the next class, we'll start with a beautiful story of Jada Bharatha. See, now we are all called as, our nation is called as Bharat Desh, right? The initial name we got to our country. So this is the story of King Bharata, what happened to him, and we have got beautiful lessons to draw from that on this particular aspect of attachment. So with that, we complete this particular shloka in the next class. Okay. So today we'll go to verse 8 of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Coincidentally, now we both are on verse 8 now. BHAJA GOVINDAM and Vishnu Sahasranama. So under verse 8, we have 3 divine words, 64, 65 and 66, Ishanaha, Pranadaha and Prano. First we'll read the shloka and then we'll move forward. Ishana Pranada Prano Jeshta Shreshta Prajapatihi Hiranyagarbho Bhugarbho Madhavo Madhusudanaha. Ishana. Isha means the one who regulates all the power that is required for functioning on this planet and the creation on this planet. And Ishanaha means the one who is the Lord of such protectors. Who is the Lord of the Isha, he is known as Ishanaha. See, to elaborate this a little more, the Trimurtis who we have, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, now they are designated to operate with respect to the creation. There is once a creation, there is a sustenance, and then there is a dissolution. So this is one cycle. So till the end of this complete cycle, these three Trimurtis are in force. Then when it is dissolved, again for the next creation, there is another Trimurti which comes in place. So Isha is one who is controlling all the forces which are currently operating. And Ishanaha is one who is controlling such Ishas from every creation to every creation. This is the difference. So this is higher than the Isha. Then Pranadaha. Now here Prana plus Daha equals Pranadaha. First let's take Daha. What is the meaning of Daha? Daha means the one who is a giver, and also it has a contrary meaning, who is a confiscator or who is a taker. Now which means Pranadaha is one where who gives you all the required energy and forces to operate in your body, which includes your nervous system, your sensory system, and your pranic system. And when death strikes you, this particular force, it pulls out the entire prana from the body. Apart from this, it has also got the capacity for those who are designated for mukti. It ensures that this particular jiva travels entirely differently to the Satyalok, which is the highest lok. It goes there without getting into the rigmarole of the jiva which we just now spoke. This particular force and power, because of which the Lord gets the name as Pranadaha. And the third one is Pranaha. Here pra plus a plus na equals Pranaha. So pra means one who is special, a means one who is complete, and na means one who is blissful. So that Lord who is Vishesh, very special, and who is complete in all respects, and who is blissful, by these three important qualities, he gets the name as Pranaha. And another meaning for Pranaha is Ana means Vagdevi, the Lord of speech. Now this Lord of speech, who resides in each and every jiva, in each and every Veda, and she from time to time She enlivens the entire creation with the power of speech. So, by this special quality, the Lord also gets the name as Pranaha. So, to a Lord who is Ishanaha, Pranadaha, and Pranaha, we offer our Sashtanga Pranam. Now let's chant the Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Deham kalu dharma sadhana. For anything and everything we need to achieve in one's life, our body, which means our health, is extremely important. To the Lord of Health, Lord Dhanvantari, we offer our humble salutations and we seek His blessings. Now let's do the Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana. All of you, please be comfortably seated wherever you all are. If there is any discomfort in any part of your body, adjust that portion of the body, relax, massage it a bit, and make yourself comfortable. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Eyes gently closed. Bring a smile on your face. Forehead completely relaxed and stretched. Now, out of the 4 levels, we will be doing only 2 levels of meditation. The first level is Antarika Drushyanuvitsa Vikalpa Samadhi, where you will be observing your mind and breath together, one after the other. And then we go to the next level, which is Antarika Shabdhanuvit Samadhi, where you will be observing the chanting of Soham. You will be focusing on the sound and you will regulate your breath along with the sound. So this regulation of breath with the sound is Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Combined together, you are in the moment, completely devoid of the Aham factor within you. and slowly you will be getting connected to the divine within you. Now, let's practice this. Let's all take some few deep breaths to your comfort as much as you can. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now the first level, Antarika Drishanuvit Savikalpa Samadhi. Bring in your attention onto your mind. Observe the blankness of your mind. Should there be some thoughts which are coming in, do not pay any attention to those thoughts. Allow the thoughts to freely pass away and gradually ensure that there are no thoughts in your mind. Completely blank, serene, and a peaceful mind. Now and then, shift your attention to the breath. Observe the breath going in and going out. Now focus on the mind again. Now let's slowly shift our attention to Antarika Shabdanuvit Savikalpa Samadhi. Jnana Shakti is, we know the meaning of the mantra Soham, I am that. that awareness which is within us, which is the enlivening factor for this body to operate and function. There is no aham bhava here. There is no I and me. If at all I am somebody, I am none other than that which is there deep within me. So when you say so, you breathe in and get connected to the consciousness within and say, I am that. And when you say hum and you breathe out, drive away the ego from your mind. Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti done together. You are staying in the moment. You are neither thinking of the past nor the future. Completely absorbed in the present moment. Let's begin. So 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 Now mentally keep saying this mantra and synchronize with your breath. Become aware of the awareness within you, that consciousness within you. At your own pace, regulate the chanting of the mantra internally. So The slower the breathing, the better is the meditation. Now slowly shift your attention to your breathing pattern, focusing on the tip of your nostrils. Become aware of the breath going in and going out. Become aware of your body and your mind. Become aware of where you are seated and the surroundings. Rub your palms, place them on your eyes. Gently and lovingly open your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we all offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord and seek His divine grace and blessings. Our humble salutations and gratitude to the entire Guru Parampara. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening. Wish you all a pleasant evening, and we meet up again on coming Friday. Till then, keep studying, contemplating, and meditating. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this wonderful journey. Hari Om.